and Lifestyle segment is brought to you by Lipton Yellow Label Tea.
Dieting and losing weight is not a lifestyle change that will provide lasting results. For many people growing up in families where nutrition was not a priority, healthy nutrition and fitness are critical to superior well-being and are vital for the strong growth of children and adults. A large number of deaths across the globe each year are related to unhealthy nutrition and an inactive standard of living. So, here are a few tips to help you make that change. Firstly, exercise every day. Workouts should not feel like a death sentence. If they do, you are not exercising enough. Regular exercise, even just 15 minutes a day, not only burns calories, it also releases important brain chemicals and hormones that improve your mood. Secondly, don't eat anything that isn't nutritious. Keeping disciplined eating habits means that your brain needs to make informed choices on your body's behalf. Don't put anything into your mouth that doesn't nourish your body. Eating healthily allows your body to function better. When you eat healthily, you feel more awake. You have more energy to spare because your body isn't trying to run on sugar and fat. Eating a healthy mix of grains, fruits, vegetables, and protein gives your body all of the nutrients it needs. Eating fruits and vegetables is also believed to reduce your risk for certain cardiovascular diseases, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. With a healthy diet, your body physically functions better. Eating healthily and finishing your vegetables shouldn't just be something a mom tells her children. It's a lesson everyone can practice. As an adult, it's important to get all the vitamins and nutrients your body craves, even if you think you're done growing. Eating healthily as an adult is increasingly important as your body begins to age. Your body craves healthy food to continue functioning properly and staying in a youthful condition. For children, the eating habits they develop in childhood will often stick with them into adulthood. It's important to teach children about healthy eating so that they can become healthy adults. A child who eats healthily is more awake and alert, allowing him to succeed in the classroom as well. Indeed, good eating habits will improve one's lifestyle to live fit and healthy.
Health and Lifestyle segment is brought to you by...
Welcome back to a new day right here on TV3, and it's time for us to do a little bit of lifestyle. Now, as you've seen on the screen, that little montage, lots of wonderful delicacies that were being displayed. And now we're trying to focus on, do we eat what's right? Are we actually exercising right? Are we doing enough to actually sustain a healthy lifestyle? With us this morning, we have Mr. Wise Chukwudi Lecha. He's the national president for the Dietetic Association, and he's going to be with us this morning and give us some tips on how to eat right or eat fit. Isn't that right?
Exactly,
yes?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay, well, this lovely segment is brought to you by Lipton. Lipton, inspiration flowing from nature. So start your day right, because Lipton, makes us feel alert.
Oh,
so
you said that so nicely.
I did, didn't I? And we have our Lipton in front of us this morning.
All right. So, Wise, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you too?
Fine, thank you ever so much. Now, I don't know if you've watched the show before, but my co-host and myself, we love food. Yes, we do. With me, it's fufu. With Nana Aba, it's kinke. With Sandra, it's rice water. And Ama just encompasses everything else. But we want to find out, are we eating right? I mean, how do we eat in order to be healthy?
Yeah, all the foods you mentioned can either be eaten well or not.
Okay.
You see, eating is one of the things we do every day. We wake up and you realize that most of the things that give us problems are things that you find yourself doing repeatedly.
Right.
To eat right, then you should begin to think about your food probably as medicine, or also think about your own health. You should understand also that the food you eat contributes to growth. Once upon a time, we were all babies. Now we are growing. Very soon we might become old men and women. Every day, cells are being formed. Older ones are dying within, new ones are being made. The food provides nutrients and energy to fuel this process of growth and replacement of dead tissues and all that. So the first question, as I suggested, ask yourself whether the food is going to maintain your health or not. Most of the time we eat to just fill the tummy, to satisfy hunger, to just be fine. So we don't really care. But it's been proven. Several studies, several observations have shown how our inactions, the wrong foods we eat, affects our health. If you don't eat right, you can develop any of the hundreds of lifestyle diseases, diabetes, hypertension. You can either be malnourished or you can be overweight. You can have cholesterol problems. You can easily be prone to heart conditions. And these are the conditions that are killing most people in our country today. If you go to most mortuaries where they do autopsies, where the specialist looks out for the cause of death of people, it's likely about 7 out of 10 people who die in Ghana are dying because of wrong eating habits.
So it's avoidable.
It's avoidable. These are things that we can modify. There are various determinants of health, and diet and lifestyle is one of the things that is flexible, things that you can actually change. You have power to change. Once you can go to the market and buy okra, buy tomato, buy onions, get some oil or fish, or buy some boma for green leaf soup, you have the power to mix those ingredients very well and come out with a very good preparation.
Okay, now when I started off in the beginning, I mentioned a few foods that we all like eating. Now you mentioned that it can be good, but it can also be bad. Break it down for us. I mean, for something like a meal of kinky, how can that be good? How can it be bad?
Kinky, I mean, it's good. I mean, if you look at the amount of energy that the body needs, you have a meal of kinky, a bowl of kinky, some pepper and fish. That's a kind of combination that will even give you a well-balanced meal.
So that's why Nanaba is always running around.
But you can have your kinky wrong. For example, if you are eating your kinky with the black shito, for example, the black shito is an example of bad food, or food that has been made bad.
Why?
Be careful. The whole nation is watching. This is it's a national delicacy.
Yeah, I'll explain to you.
Okay.
And I'm sure most of the cholesterol problems and heart issues will be helped. Will help people deal with those issues if we can change the way we eat.
Okay.
You prepare shito, you burn the oil. The whole thing becomes black. At the end of the day, chemically or scientifically, the structure of the oils have been changed. The overheating of these oils encourages what is called in science hydrogenation. At the end of the day, the oil which otherwise would have been very good has been converted into a bad type of oil. You know, animal oils or oil from animal foods like meat, eggs, milk are implicated in heart conditions. So because they are described as being saturated fats.
Right.
The plant oils are not by nature saturated. They have more good bonds than the bad ones. But when you overheat these oils, and by the time you eat them, they end up becoming saturated. And the body uses them as ingredients to make, for example, cholesterol.
Right.
So I would prefer that if you are going to eat your kenke, you eat with raw pepper, without the burnt oil.
Right.
You see?
No shit.
Then you add, exactly, you add your sliced tomato, you add your sliced onions, that is fresh enough, natural food. And then even your fish, the same process of frying the fish can actually destroy the oils.
Right.
So why not go with the grilled fish? Nowadays, the kinky sellers, I see that they have some equipment for grilling. You see that they are grilling fish as well. So I prefer that we all go for the grilled option.
So that's the healthy option.
Healthier option than the fried one. And then your kinky will be good. The other thing you should look out is whether you are taking the right amount of the kinky, depending on your activity level, depending on your nutritional status, something we can actually measure. So when you come to the hospital, for instance, you can take your weight, your height, get information about whether you exercise or not, look at your lab tests and all that. Then for everybody, there's an amount of food that you should consume. So if you end up eating 3 balls of kinky, whilst in actual fact you should be having 1 or 2, then that is bad.
How can somebody measure? I mean, not everybody will come to see a dietitian or go to a hospital before they can determine. So if Benny can take 3, I can only take 1.
Yes.
How would you know?
I think I'll leave that determination to anyone who sees a dietitian. You can't guess it.
Right.
If you guess, you might guess it wrong. It's just like taking the medicine. It's not good to just go and buy any drug. You may not know the amount that is okay for you. If you do it by yourself, you just end up having problems.
Okay.
You see, but let's not eat too much. For most people, from the kind of weights and nutritional status that we are privy to in the hospital, most people shouldn't eat more than 2 balls of kinky.
Okay.
And even greater proportion of people should have just about 1, and that should be enough. You also must ask yourself whether after eating the kinky, you are going to exercise or be engaged in work that would enable you use the energy that the kinky will give you. If you're not going to do that, for instance, you're going to sit in an office, air-conditioned office for the greater part of the day, and you eat that 2 balls of kinky, your body will not have the opportunity to use the energy that the kinky will give to you at the end of the day, and that will become bad for you. You encourage fat storage. Let's not be deceived by the way people look outwardly, whether they look slim or fat.
I was going to mention that because some people don't put on weight no matter how much they eat.
Exactly. There's a phenomenon known as TOFI, T-O-F-I, thin outside, fat inside. You can have your fat stored within your liver, and that can also migrate or move and then worry your heart, you see. So nobody is free to just eat any amount of food or eat any amount of oil and be healthy.
Okay, why? So you're a dietitian, so you're used to seeing different people come in about their dietary needs. But generally in Ghana, we're here in the UK for especially obesity is on the rise. In the US, we know it's a very obese nation. Generally in Ghana, I don't see that many obese people generally. But I guess what is the scope? Are we generally a healthy nation, or we could do better with eating?
Yeah, from the current studies that have been done in Ghana, obesity is a problem. You are probably looking out for a very fat person to know that they are obese. But to know whether you are obese or not, you must get your body mass index done, which is a crude measure. You can even go into more detail by measuring body fat percentage. I'm sure most of us here, if we should step on the body composition monitor, the body fat might be slightly higher than normal. So that's an indication of overweight or obesity, you see. So until you get a person's weight, know the height, and compute the BMI, which for obese people, the BMI is 30 and above. Overweight is like 25 to 29, thereabout. To be normal, your BMI should be between 18 and 25. And then when it's less than 18, so that is not too good. There has been several arguments as to whether the BMI applies to us Ghanaians. It does. We were taken into consideration. It has its own limitations, which can be corrected by, for instance, measuring the abdominal girth.
Okay.
We call it the waist circumference around the navel, and then getting the hip circumference. The ratio of the abdominal girth to the hip circumference can also determine whether one is obese or not.
Now, as you mentioned, sorry, I just want to take you back this quickly. You mentioned a body mass index.
Exactly.
No, body mass index. Then you said that you have a machine, the body.
composition monitor.
Well, what is that? I mean,
So that
the layman,
Most people
the layman
are like,
probably
huh?
asking what,
What's that?
I mean, I've got skills in my bathroom. That's it.
Yeah, so the body composition analyzer or monitor is just like a scale.
Okay.
So you step on it, you input your age, your height, and your activity level, your gender. Then you stand on it. It measures your weight, goes ahead to compute the percentage of that weight which is fat.
Right. Okay.
So that gives us an indication of how much fat you have. The machines will usually come with their standards. Then you compare to be sure whether you are normal or not. For the body mass index, you can even do it by yourself. You measure your weight, get your bathroom scale, weigh yourself in minimum clothing or no clothing at all, so that the clothing will not add on. And then you measure your height. The weight should be in kilograms, the height should be in meters. So the BMI is the weight divided by the square of the height.
Okay.
So you come out with this index.
Okay.
Okay. Generally in Ghana, I mean, most people don't pay attention to what we eat. We know for breakfast we grab our house of cocoa. Lunch, if you go out and you eat whether it's fufu lunch, and then dinner you go home, you eat whatever. We don't, even when you go out to buy food, I think some parts of the world, you know that if I'm buying this lunch, the calorie in that food is XYZ, it's very stated. Most of us don't really know, like what, apart from maybe I know that kenke is a carb, but I don't know if it has any vitamins. How can we become more aware based on the fact that most of our foods do not come with tags that is clearly stated?
Yeah, so we can help ourselves by reducing the amount of the high energy foods in the food. For
Is that like
example, if you
carbohydrates?
want to go for rice,
Okay.
why not go for brown rice, which is healthier, or just